All right, you're listening to Canary in the Cage. I believe we're at episode 7.
7.
Wow, 6 more than Don Lemon. Suck it, Don. No, so I'm Ron Morgan and my co-host,
Dave Havlicek.
We are here to entertain you, lie to you, make fun of you, whatever we can to make you watch us. We don't care. So, like we mentioned last week, we're going to talk about hackable cars.
Well, before we get to that, I would just like to say, what the fuck is wrong with you people? I'm giving away free Monero.
Oh, you suckers.
And nobody has taken it.
It's a free $1. It'll be $7 by the next day. So I would take it now. But no, we did say that we'll talk real quick about the Iran and Israel thing.
Oh yeah, World War III?
Yeah, the start of World War III, the forever war that will keep Joe Biden king of the United States forever.
Election canceled.
Yeah. There's talk about that.
There's talk about that every time.
So I did like Joe Biden's response in the media. They asked him, do you have a message for Iran about attacking Israel? And his response was, don't. So I really thought that was a weird response because I'm sure he's heard that word in the past and it didn't work to him. Every time he got in the shower with his daughter, I would imagine he said, Dad, don't.
Dad, please don't.
And he still got in.
Of course.
So why would he do that? Use a method that doesn't work.
Well, he's got no brain right now.
Oh, yeah.
Did you actually hear today Joe Biden came out as a libertarian? Did you know that?
Did he?
Yeah, I'm pulling up the quote real quick.
Okay, so if Joe Biden is the new libertarian candidate for president, I'm voting for down ballots.
So Biden says, are you ready to choose freedom over democracy? Because that's America.
Oh.
There you go, Joe Biden, libertarian.
All right, we'll see if he gets past the libertarians at the convention. You going to boo him or vote for him?
Well, if he's going to say stuff like that, I might have to vote for him.
Okay. Awesome. So what did I want to talk about next? We have, this is the seating. Dubai? The rain? Haven't heard?
Oh, yeah. They seeded the clouds, and then it kind of went overboard.
So my wife will call me out on stuff if she thinks I'm making it up or I'm not citing my sources properly.
Yeah.
She could not find they cloud seeded. Everything was global warming. But yet I heard the minister of something in Dubai say they were cloud seeds. I know they were.
So I didn't follow up in any sources or anything, but I've heard both stories.
I've looked it up and...
I mean, why would global warming make it rain in the desert? That doesn't make any sense.
What's global warming? It doesn't make sense.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Everything's global warming. My garage is warm today. It's global warming.
It's like 88.
Well, right, but that's global warming because we're in April.
Right.
If we were in June, 88 would be fine.
Right.
But we're in April, it's global warming. There you go. You heard it here first.
Proof positive.
Oh, let's see. I think we might go ahead and move forward to the drivable car.
You wanna get
Oh, no, shit. Oh, almost forgot. So we talk about stuff here. Sometimes we're way off, and sometimes we're pretty close.
I think you're the one that's way off, and I'm pretty close.
I don't know about that. I'll take the earthquake thing. I'm still counting on the Republican congressman to quit. But cannibals is in the news again.
Oh my God, I heard this one too.
So Dan Bongino is one of my podcasts that I listen to. He was talking about how to season.
Uh-huh.
See, we didn't get into that.
How to season them, yeah.
Yeah, how to season them. We were talking more about who would taste the best.
Right.
We're still thinking Portland for dessert, people. The Portland people. Because, we're not going to get into making fun of vegans again. I don't need them chasing me down. But so even Joe Biden mentioned cannibalism.
Yeah.
Because his great-grandpa, uncle, brother, sister, cousin, somebody was flying an airplane before the Air Force was invented, of course.
Right, before the Air Force.
Right, before the Air Force, and he crashed into New Guinea.
Something like that.
And they ate him. Now, another podcast I listened to is Litterbox, and that's a cat turd. So Cat Turd has put a message out to any cannibals out in New Guinea who possibly could have eaten Joe Biden's father, grandfather, brother, sister, whatever the hell he is, to get on the litter box and talk to Cat Turd and do some DNA samples to see if we actually got that.
There you go.
But then again, you know how X notes stuff?
Yeah.
The federal government noted Joe Biden.
Really?
Yeah, they said his plane went down in the ocean.
Right.
So the New Guinea thing probably didn't happen?
Well, when you go down in the ocean, right, you try to get to land... And then if you land where the cannibals are, then they eat you. Okay,
I was thinking maybe he got eaten by a shark, and the people of New Guinea caught the shark and ate the shark.
Who knows?
I guess we'll never know. It's one of those mysteries of Earth that we'll never know.
And this happened while Joe Biden was riding the train over the Maryland Bridge, right?
With no train tracks over 1,000 times, and there's no way he could have done that. Holy shit, the line
But
is
hey, he's
out.
libertarian now, so
He's libertarian. He's the most honest man out there. I tell everyone to support him if he's a libertarian. Although we're going to have to compromise a lot of our principles to bring that man in here. But we'll just tell him. No, actually, we might, if we get to him, we can talk to him because we're libertarians too. Maybe we can influence him, and he'll just say what we tell him to say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because right now, it's what Obama and Clinton telling him what to say.
Right.
Maybe we can do that.
Right. Sure.
Okay.
Joe. Freedom over democracy, Joe.
Constitutional carry, Joe. Don't take my guns. Oh, I don't have any guns. I'm sorry about that. The FBI's listening. I have a squirt gun, and I have a slingshot.
I think the FBI might be our only listeners at this point.
Yeah. We're like we're going to be the best. They're going to do a highlights reel of us at Christmas time. Look at these two idiots. No, that's fine. So Dave here has done some massive research on can a car be hacked, and I didn't do very much, but I'm going to fake it. No, but I think cars can be hacked. Dave, take it away.
So cars as a whole object can be hacked.
Right.
So you have an infotainment system, you have Wi-Fi, you have Bluetooth. But so in computing, we have this concept called air gapping.
Right.
So, my laptop is here, your laptop is there. Now, obviously, we both have wires coming in and out, and we both have Wi-Fi. But if I had no Wi-Fi, no Bluetooth, no wires, there's no way your laptop could affect mine, right?
Well, we are on the same internet network, though.
We are now. I'm saying if mine had none of that stuff.
Okay.
If it was, in fact, if it's this thing, right? This is a computer. We're going to get to this later.
Okay.
This cannot be hacked from your laptop.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm quite the hacker.
There's no way. There's no connection. So anyway, so that's kind of what's going on in a car, right? So you have all these systems that are accessible to the outside world, and then there's other systems that are air gapped from those first systems.
Okay.
So things that control your brakes, your steering, the engine, those things are pretty much air gapped. Now, what you can do, and this is the research I did. So every year in Vegas, we have what's called DEF CON.
Yes.
The Black Hat Hacker Conference.
Don't take your phone.
Now, they have a car hacking village.
Okay.
Just people hack cars. So what they've been able to do is unlock a car, get into the infotainment system. This is the bad one, is they could cut your engine off while it's running.
Okay.
And that's about the worst thing they can do.
All right, because I was reading an article on USA Today. I'm not sure. Are they a reputable source or not?
I don't think so.
Okay. But they did say a car can be taken over and operated. They gave a name for it. I don't want to mess my computer. I don't want to stop the podcast.
If that were the case, I would expect Black Hat hackers to do
So it's official. Black Hat has never hacked and driven a car.
No.
So, okay. So they can't do it like a remote control.
No. So, and then the other reason... and the way this discussion came up is we were talking about some politician or something that was threatening to blow a whistle, or I forget the details, but he died under suspicious circumstances while driving his car.
Oh, the story that I was telling?
Yeah.
No, I think that was the couple that was here, the 10-1 shooting here in Vegas.
Oh, okay. So yeah, either way. But so let's say you had someone saying shit that you didn't want them to say. Now, you could hack their car. Let's pretend cars are hackable, right?
Okay.
You can hack their car and have it do something funky and drive into a tree.
Right.
Or you could just slip something into their drink and, they're probably going to do something stupid and crash into a tree. Right? Now, which one's easier? Which one is more traceable?
No, and that's true. But if you're looking at a situation, because I still believe the barge that hit the bridge was cyber hacked. I truly believe it was, but we'll get to that in a second. So the story that I was telling was after our 10-1 shooting here in Vegas back in 2016, 2017, I think it was.
It was before I moved here, I know that.
There was a preponderance of people that were at the concert that died afterwards. Now, you could do the math and run the percentages and go, well, X amount of people die a month, and that month was within within the parameters of it. Who knows? But it was one particular couple. They were driving home to their gated community, and their car drove at high speed into their gate. that they've driven through thousands of times. The gate was not open, and there was no attempt to open the gate, but the car drove right into it. Now, so there's a possibility people were saying that car was hacked. I don't know. I'm not a computer guy, but I do believe that this can happen. But getting back to the cyber towing of a boat, there was a story it happened a year and a half ago in New York. It was about a guy who piloted a yacht, and he had a friend come on, and the friend had his cell phone with him, and through the cell phone they hacked the boat's navigation system and was able to make the boat just drive in a circle.
That's another thing you can do is with cars. You can hack the nav system.
Yeah,
and like make people make wrong turns or like swerve off the highway, but they're choosing to do that, right? The car itself.
But this yacht captain said he had no control over the ship, and he has not captained a boat.
Yeah, so with a boat, they have autopilot systems.
Yes, they do.
So if you hack the nav system, then the boat will do, and it's on autopilot, then the boat will do that. But cars don't have that.
So a boat is probably hackable, but you're saying a car is not.
At the moment, cars are not hackable in that way.
Okay.
But even just cutting the engine off, I mean, that can kill people.
No, that's dangerous. Yeah, but I'm talking about like actually driving the car into a tree or something.
Right, yeah. I mean, it's even if you could do that, it's really not worth it compared to old school methods of just
like cutting the brake lines.
Cut the brake lines, put something in the drink, like.
Yeah, but you got cameras, and you're seeing doing that. If you can be in like China.
Yeah, but hacking them is traceable as well.
So what about the computer chips and the computer boards made overseas? Can they be set up with a back door to get into cars? Like all of them?
So in theory, they could be, but again, that's an air-gapped system, so there's no way to talk to that back door.
So there's no way they can program the circuit board or just whatever parts are made overseas to be able to jump that air gap.
So if they want, no, not to jump the air gap, but maybe.
Okay.
But it would be not that hard to detect because like you'd have a Wi-Fi component on the board. You'd say, well, what the fuck is this doing here? Right? Just rip it off.
Well, I mean, you know where do you have circuit boards in your car?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, you gotta have at least one car with no circuit boards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, I don't have.
Okay.
Even the DeLorean has circuit boards in it.
Really?
Yeah.
That has no circuit boards, and my VW bus out there has no circuit boards.
Yeah, I think we want to do an episode on like classic cars because like that's a huge thing where getting these unknown computing devices out of your car.
Yeah, that's actually why I'm a big fan of VWs because I mean they're the old air cooled stuff. They run no matter what. You turn that key and they just start. So and they're totally 100% unhackable. You cannot hack my VW bus or my 3-wheel trike. I can promise you that because there's no computer boards on it.
But the one thing they could do now, they could put a timer on these circuits.
Oh.
So now that you wouldn't be able to easily detect. So like they could say, 5 years from now at this date and time, switch the mode over so that the car does what we want it to.
Okay. All right.
But you can't control it in real time. Like the car will just do what it's programmed to do.
Since you had more technical terms than I did, I guess you win this one. But I don't know. I still don't trust the car manufacturers, the government, because the government is making cars made a certain way, and maybe they're the ones doing it. I blame China because that's the easy one.
So I mean, I don't doubt for a second that they want to do this, but the
you
problem
say
is
impossible.
It's not impossible. It's impossible without detection, and also impossible without the smartest people in the world, which aren't the government, taking it over, right? Because I guarantee you, if they put that in a car, in 1 week,
somebody would know.
Hackers will be taking that car over. Because and this gets back to the whole did we go to the moon thing, where like the government scientists back in the day were actually the smartest people in the room.
Okay.
Right? But today, they're the fucking last in the class to graduate.
Well, yeah, but they kept notes, right?
It doesn't matter.
So they should be able to reproduce the trip to the moon.
They didn't keep notes.
Well, actually,
they threw them away, or
no. So this is very true. This is not my conspiracy. NASA did tape over the moon landing, and their response. I mean, I almost believe it because of their response. Their response is we tape over everything. we keep rerunning our reels.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know. I don't work for NASA, but you can clip certain things of a film, right, and save it in an archive
if you want to.
See, that's what they should have done. But instead they taped over it. And that just leads more to the conspiracy as why they tape over, or do they even actually have the footage?
Wouldn't have even thought it would be in question.
It's the moon landing. Question, it's the moon landing.
I get it, but
it's like it was like what? That's got to be the best thing if we did it. The best thing done in the century.
Well, I mean, the original Hollywood movie, or I guess it wasn't Hollywood back then, but Best Picture winning movies, they're just gone because they taped over them.
Oh,
because they didn't. Back then, your mentality was, well, you show the movie in the theater, and then we're not going to just waste money holding this tape. We're going to reuse it because it's expensive.
Okay, I guess they were smarter than us. So now, but
as time has gone the government scientists get dumber and dumber. I mean, they're fucking stupid. Because it's all a game, right? It's not can we produce the best results. It's can we get the most papers out the door.
And as long as the right words are on those papers, then they get published.
Right.
Okay. But going back, I do believe the barge was cyber hacked.
I think it's possible that the hack disabled the power, but then they just had to let what happened happen.
No, that turn had to be.
It didn't have to be.
They turned right into the structure of the bridge.
Sure, but
I don't know.
Like I said, if you do this to 100 barges, a couple might hit a bridge. That's all you need. You don't need all of them.
That's fine. I still say there was some cyber attacking going on. But I mean, because now the company came out last week and said, our boat was fine. We had no problem with it. Our staff did nothing wrong. But now the FBI is on the scene, 3 weeks later?
Yeah, after they said no terrorism.
Right. So now they're investigating
Why are they there?
something. But now they're blaming the ship. They're saying the ship had electrical problems before it left the port, and there was navigation issues with it as well.
Huh.
So now, who do we believe? The company that owns the boat or our government? I just go.
Either one.
Well, I'm going to go with who's lied to me less. Let's play this game. And since the boat companies maybe never lied to me, and the government has a lot, so I'm going with the boat. I'm going with the crew. Crew did nothing wrong. Boat was fine. Government set it up.
You've been following the Trump trial, the New York Trump trial. I think this is the hush money case one.
Yeah, that doesn't exist. Even Stormy Daniels is like, it's not an issue.
Yeah. They did jury selection this week.
So the charges have not even been levied against him yet, because any charges that can be levied have to be federal charges, and it's the state prosecutor.
Wait, what?
Yeah, look it up.
Well, then how is there a trial?
That's a very good question.
I mean, that was like 34 felony counts of...
The official charges have, because a lot of them were statute of limitation now.
No, not for that. You're thinking of a different case.
No, this case he's in right now with Alvin Bragg, as Dave Mangino puts it, the Twinkie eater, because he's fat. But, I mean, kind of like the pot calling the kettle black at this point. So there is no state charges that can be levied against him, is what I'm hearing.
No, because so what happened was the crime is normally a misdemeanor,
right?
Unless the money is used to commit another crime.
Okay.
In which case it's a felony, and if it's a felony, then the statute of limitations hasn't been reached yet. So that's how they're doing this. They're saying, it meets the felony requirements.
So that's not what I'm hearing, but I mean, again, I
remember reading about this.
It's what source do we go to, because everyone's got their difference of opinion.
Because the statute and the misdemeanor charge is long gone, and they knew that. So we have to find a way to make it a felony.
So didn't they say that he used campaign funds to pay her off? That's federal. It's federal. It's a federal.
But that's not the New York crime they're going after. So the New York crime is falsifying business records.
Okay.
Which is a New York crime.
Okay.
And then if you falsify business records in furtherance of another crime, which is the one we don't know what it's supposed to be,
right,
then it's a felony.
Okay, so
but I don't know what that other crime is.
That's one that's to be determined.
Right.
They're still looking for that crime.
And you would think that would have to be in front of the grand jury, but
or at least have the charge before you start the trial.
Right.
Yeah, they're picking jury members.
But it doesn't matter. They're the people they're choosing. Or have you one girl got dismissed because of scheduling conflicts, and they interviewed her, and they said, well, what made you think you would be unbiased? And she's like, oh, well, during COVID, Trump made us do this and that. And did you listen to the fucking question?
Yeah.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Well, that might be the same lady. Was she accepted at first and then discharged the next day because of a scheduling conflict?
Yeah.
So she was being interviewed, but the part of the interview that I saw was that she was already recognized. She was not on camera, but she said what town she lived in, and that she was a nurse. And apparently that was enough for people to go, oh, I know who that is. And people start calling her out. And then she had a scheduling conflict, which I get. Okay. I mean, that's the thing. Like I personally have jury duty Monday.
Huh.
I know. Fucking, whatever.
Yeah, and they're actually making you go in?
I mean, I got a call.
Oh, you haven't been called yet. Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, more than likely, I'm assuming they will.
Well, I got jury duty a while back, and then I called, and they said you don't have to come.
Well, I did check them a libertarian, so that might discount me right there.
Probably.
Because they don't like rational people.
Right.
Okay. So, but my point is they're going through these jury members like crazy. They're already, I think.
How can they find any? There's no, it's New York City.
Trump, I've never heard that name.
Right. It's on the giant fucking building on 59th Street.
Yeah, I don't know anything about him. But you have to, you show up to your civic duty, but if no one can be biased,
this actually pisses me off about a lot of libertarians. Like, they'll get jury duty notice and they throw it in the trash and then they brag about it. And I'm like this is the one thing we can do to stop them. So, like, you need to take this seriously.
Yes.
I wish they would call me for a jury. I would fuck these people up so bad. I mean, like, not guilty, just not guilty.
Well, so that's the problem, though, because I've talked to a lawyer and I'm like, well, I'll just go in there and answer all their questions insanely. And they're like, well...
No, you don't want to do that.
Because you might find lawyers might want an insane person up there because it's...
But I don't want to get out of jury duty is what I'm saying. I want to be on the jury.
Yeah, no, I mean, because that's the thing. I mean, if I was in New York on the Trump jury, would I want to be on it or not? Because, I mean, you could write I can't write a book, but I could ghostwrite a book about it. I could, get some inside information on that. I mean,
I want to be on any jury. I don't give a fuck what case it is, what state. I want to be on any jury just so I can nullify.
So not guilty no matter what.
Not guilty.
Oh, man.
We have video. Not guilty.
It's AI. It's AI video.
I mean, prove it. Reasonable doubt. Like, I watch a lot of true crime. Have you ever watched true crime?
A little bit, or something like that.
Like, you watch these things and they say stupid shit like, oh, in the police interview he was nervous. Like, well, so fucking what? That's not
anybody
evidence.
Would be nervous,
right? And like they don't have any and. There's no evidence, or there's just shit of evidence in all these cases.
Yeah.
And yet the jury comes back guilty every single goddamn time. I mean, like, who are these fucking idiots?
Well, that's the thing. So to me, it comes down to the dominant personality in the jury.
Well, that would be me.
Right. So people are influenceable, and people want to be influenced.
Right. But why do they always go towards guilty? I don't think they even discuss. I think they just say, yeah, he's probably guilty. Because otherwise they wouldn't arrest him.
Because it's ingrained in us to think someone's guilty if they get arrested.
Well, yeah.
But libertarians go, well, no, that's not true. But there's less libertarians than there are others.
I mean, like, OJ was in the news, right? Because he died.
Died, yeah.
And people were talking about the trial again. And, like, the big joke is, yeah, OJ did it, and he got away with it, and blah, blah, blah. But, like, did you remember the trial?
Yeah.
I mean, the evidence was fucking terrible.
Yes.
The prosecutor was, like, the most incompetent. They had dumbass cops.
Marsha Clark.
And they had Mark Furman.
Mark Furman's a cop.
And they were like, have you ever said the N-word? No. Here's a tape of you saying the N-word. Hello? Like, come on. Just fucking be honest, at least for the first part. And then they botched the DNA, right? This was the first major case that had DNA evidence, and the text just fucked it all up. They altered the scene of the crime, before and after. There were photos before and after, and the crime scene was different. And it's like, how is this evidence?
Yeah, but I still say that was not guilty for a different reason. But
well, either way, I mean,
but you're right, and that's the problem. And I agree with you on that. They, cops make a lot of mistakes, and cops will go after the quickest way to close the case. So if you're arrested, shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. I want my lawyer.
Yeah,
that's the only word you say.
Oh wait. Oh, am I gonna remember this? So I was reading something, and oh Jesus Christ, Lenny Bruce. You know who Lenny Bruce is?
Yeah, comedian.
Probably the most relevant comedian in comedian history, just because he got arrested for swearing on stage, and he kept doing it, and he kind of dug his foot in the ground, and he was not going to stop. And I think that furthered comedians, which is a great thing. But he has a quote that says, like, if the government wants to ban the word fuck, because if they ban the word fuck, you can no longer say fuck the government. Right. So it was just a nice quote I thought I heard. I dig it, because I dig Lenny Bruce. I mean, he is definitely one of the godfathers of comedy.
Yeah, the OG.
So, well, the cyber towing thing, it was going to take a little bit longer. I thought we were going to flare some arms and shit, but I just wasn't prepared for the wrath of Dave and his technical knowledge of air gaps.
Yeah, I sat down and I went on YouTube and said, okay, DEF CON, car hacking, watched them all. I'm like, oh, Ron's just dead. He's dead.
No, okay, but if there's a phone involved and the phone's hooked to the car, does that get you past the air gap?
No. Again, that will get you into the infotainment, the navigation, maybe the engine, depending on the make and model. But you're not going to be able to take over the auto steering functions or any of that shit.
All right.
Now, like if you got physical access to the car,
you could make a key.
Then, you could make a key, or you could undo the air gap, right? You can hook those systems together, and then you could do that.
Okay.
But if you have physical access to the car, just put a bomb in there. Why are you making things complicated?
Well, but I mean, okay, so in the case, so a lot of people probably don't understand this. In the case of the couple from the Las Vegas shooting that died suspiciously in their car, it was probably like 7 or 8 people that died suspiciously after the event who had witnessed stuff. Yeah. I don't want to get into the conspiracy involved in the Vegas shooting because there's a lot there. But there was a lot of suspicious deaths. And maybe they didn't want to blow up the car. Maybe they wanted to make it look like an accident.
So the biggest problem with undoing the air gap is you've left a big piece of evidence.
But if you're investigating it...
Well, yeah, I mean, but again, the more people you need to involve in this thing, the harder it is to keep quiet.
True. No, and I agree with that. So, and that's kind of I think you might have even brought this up, but a lot of people do that with the moon landing. They're there's too many people involved.
Right. There's thousands.
I'll disagree with the thousands, but I mean, because you got to figure people at NASA could have been sitting there looking at a screen, talking on a microphone, and they're seeing that the movie they're being filmed in Utah.
No, but so there's engineers that worked on rocket engines. Like, why are we building these things? To just throw them away and not use them.
Well, but they felt they were being used.
Right, but if you're going to go to the trouble of building them, why not use them?
Because you can't get past the radiation level on the moon.
Of course you can.
No, you can't. It's impossible.
Lead foil. That's all you need.
Then let's go back to the moon.
Why? It's a waste of money.
No.
And we don't have smart scientists anymore. The smart scientists are working at Tesla, are working at Starlink.
Private industry, yeah. It's like the missiles that we were given to Ukraine. No one knew how to make the missiles anymore. Right. They had to call in retired people to teach the people how to make the missiles again.
So I don't know if I want to tell this story. Okay, so I do work for a science lab, okay? And I do the computer stuff. So I do like inventory management systems and just boring shit like that. And we were converting from one database to another. And then the old database had as many digits as possible for a number.
Okay.
And the new database cuts off at like 38 digits. So I was converting the old data into the new data, and this came up like where one of the numbers had 40 digits. And I said, well, what do you want me to do with these extra digits? And like the scientists, right? They threw a fit. They're like, oh, we need those digits. We need all 40 digits. And I'm like, I didn't say this to them, but there is no instrument in the world that can accurately measure 40 fucking digits of precision on anything, right? Like, so you don't know what the fuck you're even doing. The reason those digits were there is because we converted from one unit to another.
Okay.
So like if you had gallons, you convert to liters or some shit, and then it rounds off to all those digits. So it's not like they measured it and got 40 digits of precision, because we don't have any instruments that can do that.
Okay.
But they don't know this. They just think we need all the digits. Like, no, you don't. You need like 6 digits, dude. Come on. So like the scientists, they're not sending their best. I'll say that.
Well, that's a sad, sad day in America then, isn't it? Where we can't even produce what we used to produce.
It is.
Because I mean, you actually have a valid point.
Better technology, too.
Relying on computers and stuff, I think, has dumbed down.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Dumbed us down.
Yeah, so. Nobody knows how to do the basic shit anymore.
No, and that's going to be a problem when this whole electrical grid collapses and we're without power and we're without computers. How are you guys going to survive?
Well, that's what the show's about.
Only if we had good advice to give them.
Maybe we should.
Maybe we should. Maybe I should look into that. No, and that is stuff we'll talk about. Again, I don't see a doomsday scenario here because I'm not a big selling fear person. But the reality is, I mean, we all know something bad could happen. The forever war, possibly. Anything to keep Trump out of office, apparently. And actually, I mean, if there was a better candidate out there, I'd be on board, especially a libertarian candidate. But
well, we'll see, and we'll see what we can do in May. End of May.
Do you think is there anybody even in the scope of thing that might be a good person?
I think the Mises Caucus has thrown their weight behind Michael Rechtenwald.
I don't think I've heard that name.
Really, he's been on the Tom Wood show a bunch.
Yeah, I don't listen. I should listen to Tom Wood.
Listen to Tom Wood.
I like to listen to podcasts and give a different view than a libertarian, because
Right.
because you're like Dan Bongino, he's a Republican.
Yeah.
Cat Turd's more of an independent. He's only a Republican to vote for Trump. And then I also listen to Redacted, and I don't know what they are.
They them.
I would think, what's that?
They them.
Yeah, they them. Actually, though, they talk about that quite a bit. They're a bit more. They're more like deeper into the conspiracy stuff, and it's really kind of cool because they bring some stuff that I haven't heard of yet, or a lot of people haven't heard of. Because even I was asking one of our meetups, like, where do you get your information from? You say some crazy shit. I'm like, well, have you met me? But no, and that's where I'm getting it from, is because they'll say something, and then I'll be like, if it interests me, then I'll start doing my own research, which is very, very frustrating because of going back to the cloud seeding thing. I saw the interview with the guy from Dubai saying they were cloud seeding, but every article says global warming.
Well, so yeah, Rechtenwald is a former commie.
Oh.
Like he was a commie into his late 40s or something.
Okay.
And then, he started, just reading more and more and said, wait, this is all bullshit. And I think he was a professor too, so...
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
Well, I mean, that takes a lot of balls to be in that line of work and say, you know what, this is all bullshit, because your whole livelihood is behind that.
Yeah, but wasn't there a lot... Was it McCarthyism? There was that. Oh, Jesus Christ! Now we're getting to my own. There was the guy. There was a guy who was a communist and who was put in charge of. He was given a professorship, and they hired a bunch of commies into our universities.
Right.
As professors.
Right.
So that's kind of what I'm going after. And then now we've spun them off into the progressive left. So yay us. Speaker Johnson, is that his name?
Yeah, Mike Johnson.
Yes, he got to go.
Well, obviously. I don't know what we're waiting for. It takes one person, right?
Yeah, there's two people that they're going to do it.
Put it out there.
They're waiting for him to push through the Ukraine bill.
Why?
Well, right after the FISA thing.
I guess because you need a reason or something. I don't know.
The FISA thing is the only reason you need.
Right.
He was the deciding. It was a tie, and he voted with the Democrats.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you guys elect me to Congress, I will do it every single day that we're in session. No confidence, sir. I'd like to bring an order of no confidence.
If the fact they put that in there, they deserve it. And in all honesty, I mean, if he does get removed, that means government shut down again.
Good.
And I love it when the government is shut down. Do you want to talk about your thing?
Yeah, I can go first.
Okay.
All right. So today we're going to talk about single board PCs. So I brought an example with me here. This is a Libre Le Potato. It's one of those scary things made in China, but
so it's hackable.
Anything's hackable. I mean, as long as it's not
except
fully
that
air gapped. But so single board PC is a computer which is about this big. That looks like shit on the camera, doesn't it?
Is there anything I can do?
No, it's just too bright.
Oh, hold on. I can turn the light down for a second.
But yeah, it's this big. It usually has like 4 cores or 8 cores. They have 2 to 8 gigs of RAM.
Does that do any better?
Sometimes 16 gigs of RAM. That's a lot better. Well, now we're just black. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, these devices are great. They take like 5 watts of power. The big name in this field is a Raspberry Pi. The Raspberry Pis are kind of the gold standard. They have the best specs, but they are rather expensive. Like, you're talking 150, maybe 200 for one. And the big problem with the Raspberry Pi is, like, they're never in stock. Like, you go to buy one, it's like, oh, sold out. Except for the older models might be in, or the weaker models might be in. They also make something called the Pi Zero, which is actually even smaller than this guy. It's like a little tiny chip, and it's basically ideal for Internet of Things, IoT stuff.
Okay.
So like let's say you have a lamp that you want to work from your phone.
Yeah.
You can hook that up.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing something like that at work with the lighting and
Because
in our media room.
I mean, like, you don't really necessarily want to buy stuff that you don't have control over.
Okay.
So, like, if you put it on the Pi Zero, like, you control that light and what it does. And these are actually super cheap. I think they're like $10, $15.
Okay.
And they are always in stock. So, like, if you're doing IoT, like, if you want a smart thermostat, microwave, your fridge, all that shit, but you don't want to seed control, get one of these things.
Okay, yeah.
Pi Zero.
Speaking of thermostats, do not ever get your thermostat from the power company.
Right.
They control that thermostat.
Right. No, yeah. If you want the smart one, but do it yourself with a Pi Zero.
Yeah, do not let the power company control your thermostat.
But my
Unless
favorite,
you're a liberal, then get one.
but my favorite devices, now they are made in China, but it's called a Libre Lay Potato.
Okay.
It's a little bit less powerful than a Raspberry Pi, but it gets most things done.
Okay.
It has 2 gigs of RAM. It's got a 4-core CPU. It's $35.
Oh.
I mean, $35 for a piece. Like, this thing is more powerful than a computer from 2000.
But can I figure out how to use it though?
Yeah, well, it has an SD card for hard drive.
Oh.
So what you do is you load your operating system onto that SD card.
Yeah.
Which you can either plug into here or you can plug it into USB.
Okay.
And then you just put the SD card in and it boots right up. And then you can hook this up to your monitor, your keyboard. It's got 4 USB. It's got an Ethernet.
Oh, that's cool.
It doesn't have Wi-Fi, which is the big advantage of the Raspberry Pi.
Yeah.
But it'll take a Wi-Fi dongle and one of the USBs.
Dongle? Okay.
It'll take a Bluetooth dongle. It's got an infrared receiver on it.
Oh.
So if you have like a remote controller, you can play around with it. It's got the 40-pin input-output board, so you can actually do custom shit.
Okay. Oh, is that?
Well, the monitor has HDMI.
Oh, okay. Again, not computerized. I'm not a computer guy, guys.
I mean, it looks exactly like
The dongle?
a normal computer.
Okay.
Right. So it's got the Ethernet port.
Okay.
4 USB ports. HDMI is over here. It's got a power cable right there. It's USB micro power.
Okay.
And these do not come with any cables, so you have to buy your own cables.
I'm sure we all have cables lying around our house.
You paid $35 for the thing. Like all in all, you're going to end up paying maybe $60 for the board, the cable, and some kind of protective case. I get these things 3D printed, like $10 each.
Really?
I've seen people build them with Legos.
Oh, that's even cooler.
Really cool. I mean, like you can get as customized as you want, right? You go on YouTube and just search. They have all the 3D models for download. I mean, like they have artistic designs, whatever you want to do, And
well, that's cool though.
What I do, I get a big fan that plugs into USB, and then I stack them 3 at a time.
Okay, so your fan cools them.
And then this one plugs into the bottom one, and the air just flows upwards. You put a little label on them. I put Velcro tape.
Oh, look at
So
you!
you can rip them off, put them back in. Now, what do you actually do with these things, right? So
that's what I was wondering.
Yeah. I was running our Matrix chat room on one of them, but Matrix is a little resource heavy.
Okay.
So I did move that off onto better hardware. But other things you can do. So one thing is great. They will run Docker. Now Docker is kind of like a virtualization environment. So when people write software nowadays, they put it into what's called a Docker image.
Okay.
And a Docker image just has everything you need to run that software in a big bundle of software, where all you just say is, "Hey Docker, give me that."
Oh.
So like you don't got to install anything. You might have to do some config if you want to have 2 things talk to each other.
Okay.
But other than that, it's just like download and go. So I mean, it's wonderful because Docker is kind of resource heavy, but the fact that these little things will run it, right? You boot it up, you load your Docker image, boom, you got a working whatever the hell you want. So some things you could put on them web servers, right? Our website is not hosted on one.
Okay.
Because I don't want you guys hacking me.
Who would do that?
Yeah, but you can run web servers on these things. You could run your databases on them.
It's obviously very portable as well.
Yeah, you could, and yeah. So I was gonna get to those uses as well. But yeah, so your database can now be separate from your web server, because traditionally, right, you would have a big beefy computer.
Yeah.
And it would run all their shit. Now, if you have to reboot that computer, well, now you got to reboot all your shit, right? And everything has to wait for everything else.
Okay.
It's a big pain in the ass. But here, like, let's say you only want to reboot your database.
Okay.
Well, now your web server can stay up.
Oh, that is kind of cool. But now, is there a password protection on there in case you lose it, or is that even
What do you mean?
I mean, if you lost it with the SD card in there, wouldn't anybody have access to it?
Well, of course, but
so don't lose it. Okay.
Well, yeah, but you can do like hard drive encryption, which you can do on your laptop as well.
Okay.
So what else? I run my I2P node on one of these things.
Okay.
So on my desktop, if I want to get on I2P, I don't have to load up a router, double click this and move this and blah blah blah. I just hook up to my laid potato device. Say, hey, give me that I2P site, and it does
okay.
So, and that can stay running. So if I have to reboot my desktop, I'm still on I2P.
Okay.
Monero node. I run my Monero node on one of these guys.
Okay.
Now for a Monero node, you will need a big hard drive because the blockchain is about 200 gigs or so. So I just got a 4 terabyte SSD.
Okay.
Now if you do want to use that, you're going to need a powered USB hub because these cannot deliver enough power to keep that hard drive running. So what you would do is have the hub plug into your wall.
Okay, a secondary power source. Okay.
Yeah, secondary power source. So the hard drive stays powered.
Oh, that's okay.
Now this is a great one. You can replace your Chromecast or Roku or Fire Stick or all that bullshit.
Yeah.
You can have this thing run your TV box.
But you'd have to put the content on there, correct?
Well,
or not?
Not necessarily.
Oh.
So you can run. It's called Kodi. So Kodi is a open source software that is designed to be kind of like a DVR TV box management, but it'll also let you play games.
Oh.
It'll do live TV. It'll do music. And there's add-ons, like boatloads of add-ons. Like whatever you want this thing to do on your TV, it'll do. So you can run a media server.
And you can it's portable, so you take it with you. That's kind of cool.
Right.
Okay.
Well, so what I do is I run one as a media server, and then I have one on each TV, and those things talk to the media server. So that way they don't have to download all the media or do the organization themselves. I have the media server that just talks to my hard drive that has all the physical or the actual files.
Okay.
And then the media server, I use what's called Jellyfin. It's just another open source software. Some people use Plex. I don't know. You have to have an account, and I don't like that kind of shit. Jellyfin, I run myself. I don't have any accounts. Just it's all me. So Jellyfin does all the organization, right? It'll sort things by artist, album, track.
Oh wow.
Movies by year, actor, director. Like you can search on all this shit, right? It just has everything. So it's like being in Netflix, but you run it.
But you still need to be connected to the internet to do all this. Or is it on the hard drive?
So the data will be on the hard drive. But if you want that metadata, it has to connect to the internet to go fetch it, right? So it'll see, like, let's say you have the file called Godfather.movie.
Okay.
Right? So it's going to say, okay, what is this movie? Well, I'm going to search for Godfather and see if anything comes back. Oh, Godfather, 1972, Marlon Brando.
You knew the year?
Of course, it's The Godfather. It's the best movie of all time. And so it'll download all that info from the internet and then store it locally.
Okay.
So once you get it, it'll be there. It's your data. So then on your TV box, you can say, I feel like playing a movie. What's Marlon Brando been in lately? Oh, he was in The Godfather. Let's watch The Godfather. So yeah, it's great. I mean,
so if we ever were to, let's say, lose power, lose internet, and you had that and a solar generator, you'd be watching movies.
Yes. And you don't need that internet part. So like if your files are named appropriately, right, you can still say, oh, I have Godfather.movie. That's probably The Godfather. You don't need the metadata. Maybe you don't know that Marlon Brando was in it. Okay, well, watch the movie. It says Marlon Brando in the credits. Right. And then the last thing I like to do with my system is health monitoring all my other machines.
Okay.
So there's software called Zabbix, Zabbix.
Yeah.
And it just basically automatically prowls through your network and gets everything to talk to each other, and everything reports back its own health status.
Yeah, I've got that on my camera system at work. Every morning I get an email that say, which cameras are in trouble.
Yeah.
So I understand that.
Yeah, so if I have one of these things go down, I'll get a Zabbix alert. Say, hey, your media server's down.
Okay.
So yeah, I showed you the case. I showed you how to cool them.
Show me I can make Lego cases out of them?
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah, any questions?
No, I mean, I just like the fact that it's portable. I mean, because if something was to go down, you still need to be entertained.
Right.
So why not watch the movies? Watch The Godfather on loop.
There you go.
Yeah, and maybe we even act it out sometime. We watch it so many times, we'll know the...
I do know all the words.
Do you? I've probably only seen The Godfather once or twice.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. No, my wife's a big fan of it, too. But I don't know. I'm more of a comedy movie guy. I like the raunchy comedies, the dumb comedies. No funny comedies, though. There's
Airplane?
Airplane. Oh, come on, man. That's like the best one.
Of course. You ever see Top Secret?
Yeah.
That's a
Wasn't Rick Moranis in that?
No. Val Kilmer.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I remember I remember the movie poster because it had an envelope that said "Top Secret" on it. I remember it. But
it's like the lesser known Zucker movie, Top Secret.
Yeah. No. Airplane was just amazing movie. I mean, I also had Leslie Nielsen, a young Leslie Nielsen, and a young Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah, pilot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so start looking into replacing your Internet of Things shit with these things. If you have any kind of service that you're trying to run, like if you want to run a web server, if you want to get onto I2P, which you should, right? Instead of putting these on your desktop, just grab one of these things, $35, and just put it in a corner somewhere and let it run on its own, right? Because then you don't have to worry, oh, did my desktop go down? Do I got to update Windows? Do I got to do this, that? No, just do your desktop as you do it, and this thing will be running for you in the background.
And that's actually kind of cool because, I mean, right now, what was it? Streaming came online, so I take it out the cable companies. Cable companies lost business. They raised their rates, which, and then now the streaming companies are like, hey, we can make more money, and they're all raising their rates, and they're putting other stuff behind paywalls. So if you have a way to get around all that.
Well, I mean, I will say one thing, like, you should pay for your movies and music.
Oh, no, you can pay for them, of course. But once you own them,
yes,
then you can watch them at your leisure.
Yes,
because you would not want to steal anybody's content.
Right, that's illegal and it's immoral, and you wouldn't download a car, so don't download a movie.
But I would make a car on a 3D printer.
Well, that's different.
And I could.
But you paid for it.
Okay, as long as I pay for the
plastic. Yeah, go get your Blu-ray copy of The Godfather. Burn it onto your network attached storage drive. Get a Jellyfin server, and then get some TV boxes with Kodi, and stream The Godfather all you want.
So if you buy a movie on Prime, can you put that movie on here?
I don't know if they like you doing that because you don't really buy the movie. You're buying a license to watch the movie.
Okay.
You want physical copies, and besides that, if you buy a movie on streaming, right, they can change the movie. You have I want to watch the original movie.
Oh, they've edited it out for the new generation.
Right. I mean, Blazing Saddles, another classic comedy. There's scenes in that movie that aren't appropriate today.
Yeah.
That maybe Amazon would say, you know what? We're not going to let the viewer decide to watch these scenes.
Well, it's because they're smarter than we are.
Right.
And they're being nice to us.
Right.
By telling us what to do.
Well, but I want to watch the original. So I get the Blu-ray copy, I burn it onto my NAS, and then I watch it at my leisure on my Kodi box.
Because I believe there's still a few Simpsons episodes that will not ever be streamed.
Oh, yeah. There was the World Trade Center episode.
Okay.
There's a Seinfeld episode that got banned.
Really?
Yeah, the second to last episode. So you remember the last episode?
Is that when the fat guy fell over? John Panera? It was a comedian.
No.
He fell in the street and they were locked. Or was that the actual?
No, that was the last episode.
That was the last episode.
And they had the trial and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the one before that was the Puerto Rican Day Parade.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, you got to get the Blu-ray.
And Kramer wouldn't wear the pin or something.
No, different one, different episode.
Oh, different episode.
Yeah, like you've probably never seen this episode, or maybe you saw it once if you
watched it live. Yeah. Okay, interesting. It's just more government control, people telling us what to do and how to do it.
Amazon or whoever the fuck.
And they're all government contractors, aren't they?
I don't want. I just want the Blu-ray. Leave me alone. Let me have my own.
I will buy my own movies and I will download them and watch them when I want. Actually, I bet you can go to Goodwill now and get Blu-ray movies for like $1.
Yes.
So you go spend $100 and get 100 movies.
Yep.
And then
their selection is pretty shitty though.
No, there's
the one I checked. I went to the one on Tropicana. Bad selection. So
there's a new one that opened up, Blue Diamond and Jones.
Okay.
Now you're going to say Jones doesn't go to Blue Diamond because it stops, but on the other side of Blue Diamond it's Jones.
Yeah. Okay, I'll check that out.
So it's right. I believe they've got like an entire wall full of. They may have sent all the DVDs to that one. There's a lot there. Nice. So you won't have to go on torrents and steal them.
Well, I don't do that anyway.
Yeah, what is that anyway?
I have no idea.
It's something I heard, but I don't really know what they are.
Well, torrents are how I get my Linux distributions.
Yeah.
So like when you want to install Linux on one of these bad boys, you got to go torrent yourself the Ubuntu image or the Fedora image.
Did we have the Linux conversation here or at the bar?
I don't know.
It drives me crazy because people bitch about Microsoft and what a horrible conglomerate they are and how much they charge for everything. But the same thing basically exists on Linux for free.
Yeah.
And we won't use it.
Well, 20 years ago, to install Linux, it was a huge pain in the ass, and the regular user wouldn't be able to do it. They'd probably break their machine. But now, it's literally easier to put Linux on your machines.
See, I was running Linux probably 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
Just because my son was into Linux.
Yeah.
So he taught me. So maybe it was hard, but he knew all the shortcuts.
Right. I mean, it's literally as easy now as put a USB in the drive, reboot, and follow the instructions. I mean, like, there's no excuse to not be on Linux. Right? Like, I know you don't want to take the time, but look, just put a day on your calendar and say install Linux.
Yeah.
And then now it's in your schedule, and you come across it and say, okay, time to install Linux. Like it's not that hard. You can back up all your data on reputable cloud like Proton Drive. Don't use Google. Dropbox is okay. Or I mean, you can just put it on physical media and just do it the old-fashioned way.
You know what? I have another laptop I'll bring in maybe not next week. In a couple of weeks, we'll do one and put Linux on it live because that is important to me. I mean, I'm not a techie guy, but Linux is really cool, and there's a lot of stuff, and it's free, and you're not feeding Microsoft anymore,
right?
Because they got way too much money.
And they have ads on the start bar now.
Oh, really?
Yes, you click the start button and you get fucking ads. I already paid your stupid asses for the software, and you're giving me ads. Come on.
Oh, so greedy. All right. Anything else in the tech world?
Not unless you got questions.
No, I didn't understand half the words you said.
Well, actually, why don't we do this week's Monero giveaway, and then you can...
Okay.
Because I want to mix it up so people have to listen.
Yeah. You never know where the Monero giveaway is going to be.
So I was thinking, I know I messaged you idea, but I was thinking let's actually do both.
Okay.
So let's give 0.01 for mine and then 0.01 for yours.
Okay.
So in a second, Ron's going to talk about like various recipes for tinctures
but mainly stuff to grow in your garden to make that.
Ingredients to grow. So for his challenge, we want you to come in the chat room and give us your best recipe for a tonic, a tincture, an elixir. What's another good word?
I mean, because we have to watch the word. I think tincture is probably our best.
Tincture, okay. Yeah, so give us your best recipe, and we'll vote on it, and whoever wins gets 0.01 Monero. And then for my challenge, give us your best idea of what you should put on a single board PC.
Oh, there you go.
And then we'll give you another 0.01 Monero for that.
Does porn count?
Like I said, we vote on the best idea. Whatever your idea is, put it in the chat room. We'll vote on it. Winner gets 0.01 Monero.
There you go. So what I'm going to talk about is basically when you're setting up your garden, you want to grow certain things because there are herbs out there that will help you make a tincture or help your body along if you're having some bad days. whether you're being sick or being depressed. I mean, like St. John's worts. You can grow that, and it has healing properties about making it a little bit happier. So maybe, if the Prozac is stuck in the Red Sea or the Red Channel where you can't get it from China anymore, maybe there's stuff that you can do at home at least to help out. And then you got the placebo effect as well. You never know. If you think it's going to be good for you, it's going to be good for you. But anything that I recommend, it's not going to be bad for you. It may not work for your intended purpose. And then one thing I tell people, eat raw honey. Eat raw honey. Whether you're sick, whether you're not sick. And if it has no effect on you,
now, have you ever done royal jelly?
Yes.
Where do you get that around here?
There's a beekeeper. Okay, so unfortunately, the only place I know to go is Summerlin Farmers Market on Saturdays.
Because I want to try that stuff.
But that guy is up in Centennial Hills.
Okay.
He's got a bee farm up there.
Nice.
He's a little different kind of guy, but I mean, he's a beekeeper, so we'll give him that. But they also have cattle up there as well, so you got also buy some fresh meat, which I highly, highly recommend. Find a source of meat that's not from the government. No, there's some weird shit going on with their meat, dude. I'll get into that some other time. But what I normally do, I have notes, but I've been leaving them at work lately because I've got a lot of stuff going on at work.
Email yourself or something.
Oh, I was going to email me, but then I ran out of time, and then shit went Windows and plumbing problems and blah, blah, blah. And that's what I'm going to do. But this stuff actually comes easy to me. But I brought it up on my screen here so I can talk about some stuff that I don't do. Basically, my go-to stuff is it's white whiskey. It's a little confusing. It's basically unaged whiskey, so it's technically clear, not white. It confuses people. I don't know why. It's the higher proof, the better. There's a few companies that make like 120 proof, which if you drink it, you're going to burn all your taste buds. But the next sip is going to taste really good. But I use that, some raw honey, some cayenne pepper, some lemon juice. I personally have not had pharmaceutical medication in my body in over 20 years, and that little tincture is one reason why. Because I'll go to that if I'm sick. And I'm pretty vocal about it. And so the funny story was I was at work one day and I had what appeared to be pink eye. I don't know if it was pink eye. I don't go to the doctor. And they actually sent me home from work. And they said, what are you going to do? Take honey? I go, yeah. I don't know. Let me find out. I did some research. And unfortunately, I did this when I was home alone. It kind of pissed me off. I should have recorded it. Whether I had pink eye or not, I don't know. I had an eye that was inflamed, red, water pouring out of it. So I got home, I boiled some water. I then stuck that water in the freezer to cool it down to room temperature, because the one thing about honey, you cannot inject it, put it in anything that's 180 degrees or more, because you pasteurize it, and that kills its healing properties. So I brought the water down to a drinkable temperature, and I stirred it in my honey, and I stirred it, I liquefied that as best I could. I went and got an eyedropper, dropped 3 drops in my eye, and 5 minutes later, that shit was gone. Now, did I have pink eye? I don't know. But I did have something going on. But keep in mind, honey is anti-inflammatory. It's antibacterial, or it has those properties in the honey. And it's good. If you're a drinker, it helps detoxify your liver. So it'll help that as well. So there is a lot of things you can do with honey, and that's one main thing that I implore everyone to stock up on. Get it from a reputable source. There is raw honey coming from China, so be careful about that. But if you get a beekeeper in the area, that's one of the best things to have in your kitchen, and it lasts forever. They actually found a sunken ship with a sealed jar of honey in it.
Yeah, we talked about
Did we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember what I talk about. I get blown and talking. Who knows? But the point is it lasts forever, and there's a lot of healing properties. But so that's what I kind of go to. I'll do some cumin and stuff like that. I'll do cayenne peppers, another one that I'm huge on. Cinnamon, I do that a lot. But I just kind of want to go over some of the stuff that I don't typically know about. So I just brought up 3 different topics. Antibacterial herbs. I'm going to fight through all the ads. Garlic. Now, garlic, I eat garlic. I got some garlic in my garden. I'm so happy.
When I read a recipe and it says use 2 cloves of garlic, I'm like, that's 2 heads, right?
Yeah, yeah. You can't have enough garlic, and then if you roast the garlic,
oh my god! I found some black garlic. Ooh.
Oh wow,
so good. Yeah.
Yeah, no. So garlic is good. They mentioned honey, which we kind of already discussed. Ginger. Ginger and it's actually not a bad thing to put in any meal. Just kind of like the best way to peel ginger is with a spoon. I don't know if you know that. You just kind of chop with a spoon.
Yep. So actually, I get seasick when I play certain video games. It's kind of reverse seasickness because you're seeing motion, but you're not feeling it. So your brain is like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And it causes seasickness. And if you eat ginger, gone.
Really? Yeah. Well, it calms your stomach down. All right, so there's a lot of stuff out there that's antibacterial. And just kind of do your research, see what you like best, kind of go that route with it. And then the other ones are anti-inflammatory foods. And it's all stuff you can go in your garden. You can incorporate it into your meal. You can do it when you get sick. Well, whatever makes you feel the best. But none of this stuff's going to hurt you. Bet Big Pharma can't say that. So we're talking about anti-inflammatory foods. Mushrooms is on this list. And mushrooms, they actually... So I tried growing mushrooms a couple of years ago in a stump.
Yeah.
And it was plugged and everything. I don't know if I didn't
water. So I don't know if you know this, but there's a guy here in town that sells spores for all various types of mushrooms. And, I'm sure you've heard of magic mushrooms, right?
Yes.
Now, magic mushrooms are illegal because they're scary and dangerous.
They're illegal?
Yeah. But spores for magic mushrooms are not illegal.
Can you microdose with the spores? You got to grow them.
No, you have to grow them.
Okay.
And then it's legal to possess them. Well, it's not. I think it's not legal to sell them. But
actually,
it's legal to possess.
It's either Oregon or Colorado, or both of them are legalizing medicinal mushrooms.
I think Nevada was talking about it too.
They should.
But yeah, so I can put you in touch with this guy in town. I'll probably put our details.
Do that because I would
I'll
like
put
to
his details on our page. Because he's always looking for a new business.
Awesome.
Shout out, Mike.
So other stuff that's anti-inflammatory, berries, which are broccoli. Broccoli. I believe you lose its healing properties if you steam it.
So broccoli did you know, is the same species as cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, cabbage?
It's a genetically modified. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so they're not genetically modified, but they're traditionally modified through selection, artificial selection.
Now, what do you about are bananas genetically modified?
Yes.
Okay.
Bananas actually can't live on their own.
Yeah. Somebody said if we ever lost all bananas, we can never get them back.
Right. Well, that's the common one you see in the grocery store. There are other species out there that we could, make again, but it would take a lot of work. But with broccoli, I was going to mention the cooking. As long as you don't overcook.
Okay.
So what you want to do is, no matter how you're cooking, the broccoli should get really bright green.
Yes.
And then you're done.
Okay.
And then put it into ice cold water right away.
Stop the cooking. Yeah. Because when you pull something off of heat, it will continue. Like when I cook my steaks, I pull it off at a certain time because it's going to rise in temperature while it sits there, while it rests. Right. So you got to pay attention to that kind of stuff.
Yeah. With broccoli or any green vegetable, once it's bright green, you're done. Get it out of there. Because any further than that, you're getting rid of the nutrients, and it's going to taste like shit. So,
it's broccoli, man. What do you want?
Look, if you were a kid growing up and you hated broccoli, it's because your parents overcooked it. 100% of the time.
Oh, you're a broccoli fan.
Oh, broccoli's great. Brussels sprouts, I love that stuff.
Yeah, some of the other anti-inflammatory stuff are grapes, tomatoes, and cherries, which, it's all good stuff, and it will help. The one I left for last was olive oil. Now, true olive oil is the most anti-inflammatory food you'll find on the shelf. So that's important to have that around. I don't know about cooking. Again, it may change. You may lose its medical healing at a certain temperature. That I don't know, because I always tend to go to my honey and not my olive oil. Yeah. But
I would suggest that you avoid cooking with good olive oil entirely. Only eat it raw, like salad dressing.
Oh, okay.
But if you're going to cook, use a crappy quality olive oil, or actually avoid olive oil. When I cook with olive oil, it's only in the oven. So if I'm roasting, if I'm going on the pan, I'm using butter or lard or beef tallow.
Oh, lard. Okay, so you're a lard fan.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know about the smear campaign that was done on lard?
Of course.
It's insane. Lard is actually a better cooking product than...
And I make my own. So I will buy some from the store just to always have some.
Yeah.
But whenever I cook and I don't use the fat, I keep that.
Really?
Put it in the freezer.
Okay.
When you have a big bag full, Render it yourself. It's way better.
I will look into that. So I never try. See, you learn stuff from everybody. So that's just kind of stuff when you're planting your garden. Get this stuff in there. Or get a little greenhouse. Don't buy a greenhouse window. Those things are like $1,200. I'm actually going to build my own little greenhouse on the side of my house, and I'll just open my kitchen window and reach into it. It's like a hillbilly thing, but. What
about like herbs? Do you have any herbs?
Well, yeah, but that was kind of like, that was probably more back in the.
So like cilantro, parsley.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, all that stuff is good. I was just trying to break it down to where the healing properties at. But yes, basil, all that stuff. Basil. There is good healing properties in anything that's green. Just eating vegetables alone is actually good for your body. And if you don't like vegetables because you buy them at the store, they're a different vegetable at home.
Right.
They taste better. They're juicier. They're just much better for you. But more to the point, you know your ailments. And you kind of know what you're going to need. So maybe start planting stuff, kind of do some research, find out what's good for you.
Well, so the other thing you want to do, when you're seed shopping, get the heirloom stuff.
Oh, heirloom tomatoes.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I guess I'm growing from seed right now.
But yeah, so if you buy just regular seeds, you're going to get similar to the grocery store. Heirlooms are not bred to look clean, right? They're going to be bumpy.
Yeah.
They're going to be ugly. But they're going to taste so much better.
Yeah, you cannot beat an heirloom tomato. Dear God. And something else that I do, everybody thinks I'm crazy on this one, but a few people have called me out on it, and they've done it, and they've agreed. So this is not really for your garden, but I'm sure everyone's got a bar of soap around the house. I always tend to go like ivory, unscented bar soap. Mm-hmm. You don't really want a scent, but you can...
You know where that stuff comes from, the scents?
Where?
From a beaver's anus.
Really? Beaver's anus?
Yeah, like artificial flavors and scents.
I've actually heard that before.
Come from a beaver's anus.
They have that many different flavors in their anus?
Well, you treat it different ways.
You extract the good flavors out of the beaver's anus.
Yep.
Beaver and anus. There's a joke there, but I'm going to stay away from that one. But what I do is if I have a tooth infection, or if I've got that, some pus built up, if you brush your teeth with soap, it actually kills the infection. It tastes like shit. But your mouth will feel cleaner than it's ever felt before, and it will kill that infection.
Nice.
I've been, because for some reason, if I ever get like an infected tooth, it's always around a holiday, so I can't get to the dentist. So I was researching a bunch of different stuff. This was years ago, and I come across, they say garlic is the same thing. You can kind of pack garlic in there. Okay. But honestly, I haven't found anything more fast acting than antibacterial, than bar soap, unscented bar soap.
Interesting.
I just kind of just get it wet, just rub a toothbrush across it, and just go to work at it. And then I'll get some of the soapy suds and let it sit where the pain is, because your cheeks and your gums actually will get stuff into your bloodstream quicker than any other part of your body. So it's good to let it sit there, and the pain does go away fairly quickly. And I've had people test me on it, and they've all came back and said it worked. And it's always worked for me. So there are some crazy stuff out there that, it's like, oh, you're nuts for doing that. Well, try it. May not be bad. Remember, some guy was the first one who cracked open an oyster and goes, I'm going to eat this. I don't know who he was, but I'm glad he did, because I love my oysters.
Oysters are great.
Yeah, I know, aren't they? I've been around here. It's just like,
No, we have some of the best seafood in the country.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Oysters.
Yeah, and all seafood's frozen anyway, because when they on the boats.
Not for here.
Well, no, they have to freeze it on the boats when they're not catching it. They throw it in the ice chest.
I don't know if they do that with oysters, because oysters are alive.
Yeah, so you're right. The salt, they probably soak it in salt water, because that's the thing about oyster. If it's closed, it's good. Yeah. If it's open, it's dead.
Yep.
And I've never found a pearl. Is that a?
I have.
Seriously, is that a joke?
I mean, it wasn't usable.
Yeah.
It was a gritty piece of shit. But it was a pearl. I mean,
really? Yeah. Oh, that's really kind of cool. So
I threw it away. It was junk.
Yeah, exactly. You should take it to Rick at Pawn Shops, Pawn Stars.
They wouldn't give me a penny for it.
Well, best I can do for you. Actually, I don't even watch the show. I see the memes. The best I can do. So you're, like I've got a family member here who has asthma, so I grow up certain herbs to help with asthma. Do they take medication? Yeah, they do. And I'm not trying to replace medication. I'm just saying there's stuff here if there is a problem where you can't get your medication. So, and take it as a supplement to your medication is also a good thing. It's one of those things that it's not going to hurt you, people.
Right.
Eat your greens. Because now they got that powder stuff. You just mix it in your water.
Ah.
It's chalky. Just eat the freaking vegetables. They're good.
Yeah, and so the other thing, when you actually eat the vegetables, right, your body has to do work to break those things down.
Yep.
And that's burning calories.
Yep.
So if you just drink the nutrients straight, like, okay, maybe you'll get the nutrients, but you're going to gain weight because you're not working to burn those calories.
Same thing with hot peppers. Hot peppers make your body burn more calories because they're putting the fire out. Hot peppers. And then the next day, you also got your calories being burned trying to cool something else down. Woo! But I love my hot peppers. Actually, dude, I've got so many hot peppers growing in the garden.
Nice.
Because I went from seed with a lot of my stuff. So I've got a ton of stuff. Once I get my soil where I want it, our soil around here is so nutrients negative.
Yeah, but hot peppers like that stuff.
Yeah. Hot peppers will grow. Roses grow in this town like crazy.
Huh.
But they're deep rooted. So they get the water from the ground. So that's kind of the stuff. I just want to kind of hit on a few things. But it's more tailoring it to what you want. The information is out there to kind of, but don't be afraid to try something because again, it's a vegetable or it's a fruit or it's honey. Try different stuff and see what makes you feel better.
And come ask in our chat room.
Yeah,
see what other people are doing.
Yeah, we get a chat going. We all help each other out.
Yeah,
because that's what we are. We are a community, and because not any one of us knows everything. So it's helped to kind of talk about stuff because I've got my own things that I tend to favor, but I also leave a lot of stuff out because what I use works. When it doesn't, I'll try new stuff, or if somebody tells me something, I'll give it a shot because it can't hurt. So yeah, I think that's kind of what I wanted to talk about now for helping your body heal. Because guys, seriously, I mean, I know we kind of joke around a bit, but all of our what is it? What's made in China now? All the antibiotics are made in China, and I believe painkillers are made in India. So we've kind of spread out ourselves where we're not really making our own medicine here even. And if Iran does what it's saying and he shuts down the Red Sea, the entrance to the Red Sea, there's a area that they shut down, which they've done in the past.
Right.
It can truly affect our goods our goods coming here. And they're already saying there is a shortage of some pharmaceutical medication. So start looking now. Start getting building up a tolerance for it because there's a lot of stuff that you can take and it will get rid of the problem without having to ingest certain stuff in your body that we can't get right now because there's a shortage on it. Because I don't want to put it down any other way because I'll get kicked off of half these fucking channels we're on.
Not by me. We're on the dark web.
Yeah, but I mean, that's a small group out there.
Hey, well, we're trying to get everybody on the
again,
dark
I guess if you add up all of our listeners, it's not even 1% what's on the dark web. So I guess I'll take it if we can.
But speaking of dark webs, next week I'm going to talk about dark markets.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
So we've talked about Tor and I2P. We've talked about Monero. Now, what are you going to do with this stuff, right? Well, one of the things you want to do is go on dark markets. So this is where, you can buy and sell goods and services in the privacy of your home without anybody spying on you. Most of the stuff there is legal, so you should stick to those sections. Yeah. Don't buy the illegal stuff.
No, never.
But, browse around and maybe report them to your local FBI agent. But good luck because they're on the dark web. So
yeah, they're on there with you. Don't worry about it.
They're anonymous. But yeah, I'm going to talk about how to keep your anonymity while buying and selling on the dark web.
So is it? I mean, do you recommend crypto only on the dark web?
Well, you have no choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So put your credit card number on the dark web.
Yeah.
Probably not a good thing.
Nope.
Oh, and the 3-digit code on back. Matter of fact, let me just take a picture of it.
Yeah.
So I get the number right. Don't fall for that stuff, people. There are some unscrupulous people out there. We already went through that past the hour, so that's good. So I think we'll shut this down for the evening. We'll see you guys. Well, we're going to see each other next Thursday. We'll see you guys when you watch us. Yep. So
we get that free Monero.
Yep, get some free money from us. Leave some comments. Let's get some chats going, and let's see if we can get a community going. All right, people.
See you next week.
Have a good day and be nice. I guess I'm looking for a catchphrase for the end of it yet. I haven't got that catchphrase down yet because everybody's just fuck off, everybody. It's not a good catchphrase. So one of these days I'll come up with something good. Actually, start a chat. What would you like me to say at the end of the show? I'll be more than glad to say anything, and I won't even charge you for it. Except I will not make derogatory comments about myself or Dave. Well, Dave maybe a little bit if they're funny. All right, people. Have a good one. Enjoy the world.